After almost a year of its retro arcade collection, Capcom is back with the second release of the Capcom Arcade Stadium. Let us get our rusty coders ready and hit the virtual arcades to see if the sequel is as awesome as it sounds. So what is the Capcom Arcade Stadium, you might ask? If you have ever wanted to have your own arcade place, but virtually and only with Capcom games, then you pretty much get that with Capcom Arcade Second Stadium. The collection is very unique in that it allows players to choose between different games to purchase and how to customize their virtual arcade room. The base game, which is basically the virtual arcade room and one free game, is available for free, but obviously you will not be able to play any other game of the game selection before you decide what to purchase. Players who want every game available, which is a massive 32 titles, including both famous and obscure games, can buy the bundle for $39.99. Players who are only interested in few titles can purchase individual ones for $3.99. Another bundle is available which also includes a number of soundtracks for $54.99. The virtual room itself is quite pretty and really makes you appreciate what Capcom is trying to do. Rather than just bundling these games and have players choose what to play from a list of items, Capcom went the extra mile to recreate 3D arcade machines and lets you browse as if you are in an arcade shop back in the mid-90s. I honestly felt at an arcade with sounds from the arcade machines and all of them showing their insert coin demo. The only thing missing is the cigarette smell mixed with the smell of the delinquent children who would skip school to hang out at the arcades. And I would have sworn this game is a time machine that took me back to the past. But enough about my terrible memories and let us talk about what we have here. Once you select a game to play, you are allowed to select different versions of the same game if available. Some games have both the English and Japanese ROMs, while others that have never been released worldwide will only have the Japanese one. Once you set your mind, you are then asked to insert a virtual imaginary coin and then the game starts. Here you have a number of options on how to play the game. You can opt for the virtual 3D arcade and filter, which looks like as if you are playing at the arcade cabinet, or you can choose to only see the screen of the game. Both options come with a number of filters from pixel perfect mode to CRT style filters and passing by a number of scan lines options. The choices are many. You can also customize your virtual cabinets in multiple ways by changing their size, style, and artwork, and it is absolutely amazing to get this level of customization. As these are some old arcade games, the difficulty level on some of them is insane, but Capcom found a way that might not be used by hardcore fans like me, which is the time rewind option. Made a mistake and lost a life or a round in your favorite game? Fret not. By the press of a button, you can rewind the action few seconds to the past to avoid and correct whatever caused your loss. This might be fun for newcomers to the genre, but anyone who grew up in the arcades era will probably say, where's the fun in that? You can also purchase invisibility cheats if you feel like you just want to go through the games feeling like Superman. As previously stated, the game comes with 32 titles. These are Savage Bees, Gunsmoke, Speed Rumber, Hyperdyne Sidearms, Hisatsu Buraiken, Black Tiger, Street Fighter, Tiger Road, 1943 Kai, Last Duel, Rally 2011, Magic Sword, Three Wonders, The King of Dragons, Block Block, Knights of the Round, Saturday Night Slam Masters, Echo Fighters, Pinikis, Darkstalkers, Night Warriors, Street Fighter Alpha, Mega Man The Power Battle, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Mega Man 2 Power Fighters, Vampire Savior, Capcom Sports Club, Super Gem Fighter, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Hyper Street Fighter 2, Son Son, and Son Son. But even though you probably know that I'm a huge fan of the fighting games genre, I found myself not interested in those. For the simple reason that they are already available in other collections, like the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection or the recently released awesome Capcom Fighting Collection, which includes all of the Darkstalker games in one package with rollback netcode. So the attraction for me here are those obscure games that were forgotten as the years passed. And looking through the wide selection of the arcade titles, I found a game that brought me so many memories: The King of Dragons. This fantasy beat 'em up was a huge part of my arcade days. I would play it between long sessions of KOF or Street Fighter, and although I thought I have forgotten everything about it, the moment I started the game, all these memories came rushing in, from the catchy tunes of the game to how to beat specific bosses. With that said, there are still few titles that did not make it to this collection or the previous one, like the Alien vs Predator or the famous Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Both of these games must be held in legal limbo since Capcom might not own the rights to these properties anymore. As for those of you hoping to play these games against friends online, you might be disappointed to know that, like its predecessor, Capcom Arcade's second stadium does not offer online play. It does, however, offer online leaderboards and weekly challenges. But if you want to play Street Fighter or Darkstalkers online, you will have to look somewhere else. The attraction of Capcom Arcade Stadium is to present you with classic games in a virtual arcade room, making it easy for you to re-experience the arcade's heyday from the 90s, and at that, it excels. However, I do feel that it would have been much better if Capcom found a way to implement online matchmaking for these games. But as I said, what we have here is really good. Capcom Arcade Stadium is out now on PC through Steam, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Nintendo Switch.